Next voicemail we have, I wanted to play and listen to. Honestly, not because we really want to call him back. I'm going to be honest. This one, I don't think we need to call him back because he gets his point across straight here in the voicemail. But I'm more so playing this because I want to speak on this topic because I think of this often myself.
What up, Gobby? The topic today is things you got away with. Back in 2017, me and my boys used to order carts online. First off, we paid in Bitcoin, so those are the most expensive carts known to man. Those would probably be like $10,000 carts nowadays, but we were just spending Bitcoin on carts, but we'd order it to my homie's neighbor's house. And then on the delivery day, we'd camp his mailbox and wait for the post office to show up. Well, the post office shows up, we go to get the package one day, and his neighbor comes out and starts yelling at us. So we sprint up the street, jump some fences. My homie ends up getting attacked by a dog. But that's just the start of the story. If you want to hear more, let me know. It was truly an eventful evening.
Listen, the main reason I listen to this is not because of his homie getting bitten by a dog or anything, but because he talks about buying shit on the deep web with Bitcoin in 2017. And I really also, the transcript cut off half of this voicemail. The last word in the preview I was able to read was camping the mailbox. So I didn't even realize there was more to that story. So maybe we will actually call him in a minute. But when I look back at the amount of Bitcoin I used to load up and go spend on Alphabay or Hansa back in the day, buying the stupidest shit. Buying dude, I'd get like a quarter-ounce shipped to me in the mail, risking a fat felony for a quad, right? Or I remember I got like an eighth of one time. That shit was lit. I got a sampler. I got 1 gram of shipped to me and delivered to a P.O. box in the lobby of my local post office. I was a dumbass, dude. But when I look back, when I was doing this, Bitcoin was like $2,000. And I vividly remember it was like early 2017, before the first time it broke $10,000. That happened in late 2017. But early to mid 2017, I was on probation ordering hella shit on the deep web. And when I look back at it, the amount of money that I spent, if we scaled it up to where Bitcoin's at today, it was hundreds of thousands of dollars in value now. That if I just bought that Bitcoin and sat on it, I would be, you motherfuckers wouldn't hear from me. Honestly, you should be grateful I didn't do that because this show wouldn't exist. I'd be on an island and I'd own it myself, dude. It would be absolutely sick. None of you guys would ever see me again. It would be beautiful, dude. I'd be out there drinking coconut water and, I don't know, having luau's and shit. But that shit was never, it's the most painful thing in my life, the amount of money. I remember I ordered at one time a pound of trim. I got an ounce of some Obama that was supposedly really good. Back when Obama was super hype. It was yo, they named me after a president. And it was the most purple I'd ever seen. So it was holy fuck, perfect 2016, 2017, Fucking got an ounce of that, got a pound of trim. I ordered some at the same time. All together, I remember that being around 0.3 Bitcoin. It was 0.3 or 0.4 or something like that. In today's money, that's almost $50,000. So that's the most expensive re-up I ever did if we're looking at today's current value. This guy talks about the most expensive carts known to man. I feel your pain, brother. I feel and all those markets got shut down, and thankfully I was just some dumb kid ordering small amounts of money and other, I got a couple times off the deep web, but it was all such small amounts that 100% the feds got me on a list, dude. I know when I had Tom Simon on the show, I know damn well he had a notepad and a wire under that suit, but whatever, I'm good nowadays. I'm very lucky. There was a kid that I knew back in the day who he allegedly, the rumor, this is probably exaggerated, but there is some truth to it. There was a kid I knew back in the day. He was a mutual friend of a friend kind of thing. He went to a school in our district, and he was the plug. He was the man, more so than any of my friends, anyone I knew directly. This guy was apparently getting 5 to 10 sheets every other week, which was a ton of motion for us. This guy's getting rid of 500 to 1,000 tabs every, he's making a ton of money. And apparently he had a bunch of Bitcoin. And one day they did a controlled delivery on this guy, raided his house. I'm pretty sure that guy's still in prison. He had just turned 18 when they completely fucked him in the ass. And as far as I'm aware, I guess I haven't kept up with him too much. He might be out by now. But as far as I'm aware, I think he's still locked up. What a crazy time. Are there even Someone let me know in the comments, actually, because I'm genuinely curious. I've been tapped out of this game for so long. Are there even like actual secure darknet markets anymore, or has that entire thing been busted? Because I would imagine like the only markets left got to be ran by the federal government, dude. That's a honeypot, and they're about to come molest you and all your homies in your living room. You know, like that's what I imagine. But let's take a break real quick, actually, because I want to take a shot. So I'll be right back. All right, I just took a little shot. You know, for those of you guys who aren't aware, I usually like to loosen up for these episodes. I don't get drunk necessarily like I do on Crackheads, but I would take a shot or two, you know. I think it's better for filming. I mean, hey, Brandon Novak, I think I even took a shot before that guy got here, and that guy probably would have tomahawked his fucking novel at me if he found out I did that. But either way, the next voicemail is something that actually also happened to me. So I want to play this one because I can relate to this voicemail and speak on it. Let's listen in.
Hey, Gobby. Just wanted to call in and tell you about the time that I got a call from a postal inspector letting me know that my box had been seized. Got away with it. Still think about it a lot because could have gotten in some trouble, but just glad nothing happened. Hope to hear from you. Peace.
So the reason I played this one is because this is the exact reason I don't have a P.O. box. It's not just a precautionary thing of like, oh, I think that could happen to me. Back in 2017, while I was on probation, during the era I was talking about earlier, where I did get a couple things shipped to this P.O. box that I probably shouldn't have, but I also was using it as just a public address as a P.O. box. And in my brain, I thought I was being brilliant. So I was like, dude, I can get fan mail here and like, they'll fucking, you know, it's all good. Like, I can get fan mail here, and if anything gets shipped to me and I get in trouble, I could just be like, dude, a fan sent it, you know, and just fuck it, you know, who cares? I don't know who sent that. This is my public P.O. box. I thought I was being smart. In reality, I was being really stupid. But essentially, I published my P.O. box number, started getting some mail, ended up getting a bunch of really weird shit. There was one guy who sent me a plastic bag full of thermite with a fuse and instructions on how to detonate it, which I did in my mom's garage. And I learned really quickly that you shouldn't light thermite indoors. Luckily, I only did a very small amount. Otherwise, I legitimately would have burnt my whole house down. Some guy started sending me parts to build a bicycle. Like it was like he disassembled the bike and just started sending me parts. But eventually one day I had gotten a call from the post office, and it was really unusual because the post office doesn't call you for anything unless you're about to go to prison. Like they don't give a fuck about you. They'll never call you. There's no customer service at the post office. Like if they lose your package, they don't call you. It's just like, hey, check your tracking or get fucked. So if they call you, it's like, oh, God, I'm going to prison, right? I get a voicemail. I didn't answer the call, luckily, and it said something along the lines of like, hey, we need you to come in and sign for this package. They didn't say anything about a package getting seized, but they just asked me to come in and sign for this package at the front desk. They said, we need a signature for this package, and I wasn't waiting on anything. So I believe this is something that a viewer sent to me. Actually, no, I was waiting on a couple things, but I don't, like they weren't supposed to come yet, right? So I believe this is something a viewer had sent me, right? I'll never know because I never went to get the box, but I got that voicemail and immediately just never showed up to my P.O. box again. I never went in to collect a single piece of mail. There was probably more shit that was sent to me by you guys back in 2017 that never saw the light of day because I could not go back to the P.O. box was burnt. Listen, the post office doesn't call you to come in and sign for something at the front desk. Like they're not going to call you and tell you to do that. It'll just show up on your tracking. Like, oh, you need to go sign for it. Oh, you need to pick it up, ready for pickup. Like there's no bro, they have 3 fucking employees in the whole box, in the whole post office, and one of them has to sort all the boxes. And the other one doesn't want to be there. Okay. And the third one's wife probably just left him, right? Like they don't give a fuck about you. They're not calling you. So I knew immediately shit was sketchy. And I had talked to a couple friends who had stuff seized, and they were like, yeah, you should not go in and sign for that. So I never fucking did. And I never again opened a P.O. box because looking back at it, those are the only 2 things that ever came out of it. A bunch of, thermite that almost burnt my mother's house down, and then a package that was so suspicious that the postal inspector tried to set me up. That's also how they do controlled deliveries, which is how they bust people ordering from the deep web. What they do is they make you sign for the package, because if they just deliver a box, you still have plausible deniability. A box just landing on your porch with your name on it is not enough to send you to prison, even if it has a pound of fucking crack in it, right? You have to acknowledge that you wanted this box, because anyone can just ship a box with anyone's name on it to any address. That's how the mail system works. With a fake return address too, that's how it works. So, when you sign for a package, your plausible deniability is gone. There's no more like, oh, I didn't know. You put your name down saying, hey, I'm waiting for this box. This is my box. I'm taking this home. And that was something I luckily never went in and did, because if I did, ladies and gents, I probably would have gotten fucked and gone to prison. Maybe would have gotten some extra mugshot merch. Probably wouldn't have been half bad at the end of the day, but either way, had to do what I had to do. I had to avoid going in there.